Memao akwaba eba Homeland TV so. Ene eye musumfo the unknown ena masanso abebiomi. Na ene ehina mewo ene makwakopie Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park. Na why kra ene Kwame Nkrumah. Kwame Nkrumah ene presidenta udikan a udi Ghana so. Na Memorial Park we yesheda eye mano ewo ni memory mu said ye de beka kai no. Enunti ena yeye Memorial Park yi. Memamu na kwaba moma yemfa tonim yenhwade.
Man a black but lovely. I don't buy fire. Black is pure, so nice. I will always be black. I will still be black. Yes, I'm proud. Black, 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 black. I will always be black. I will still be black. Yes, I'm proud. I is black, I am black. White come from black. Jesus Christ is black. Holy Majesty. Let no man lie to you. That black is evil. Let no man confuse you. My black people. Never listen to Babylon deception. Da da da. Never listen to the word confusion. Ooh-wee. Look in my eyes, can't you see the black that moans inside of me? Black, black, black.
Good afternoon and welcome to Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park. My name is Lakshmi and I'll be your tour guide. Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was born on the 21st of September in 1909 in a village in the western region of Ghana called Nkrofo. He was born to Madame Elizabeth Yaneba, who was a trader, and to Mr. Kwame Nkrumah, who was a goldsmith, and he was their only child. He had his basic education in a Roman Catholic school in Half Assini, also in the western region of Ghana. Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah had the senior high education in Achimota Training College, now Achimota Senior High School. He completed senior high school at the age of 16 and didn't have money to further his education. So he became a pupils teacher until 1935. He got a scholarship to study sociology and economics in Lincoln University in the United States of America. He had his master's in the University of Pennsylvania, also in the USA. He later left to the London School of Economics where he stayed for just a semester. He lived in the UK after his education until 1947. He met a politician called Mr. J.B. Dankwa in Manchester, who brought him back to Ghana. And they formed the first political group, which was the UGCC, in the year 1947. In 1948, the leaders of the UGCC led the anti-colonial riots, which led to their arrest. But many of these leaders fled away, remaining 6. The 6 were taken to prison, and because of their bravery, Ghanaians called them the Big 6. In 1949, the Big 6 were released from prison, but because of differences in ideology, Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah left the UGCC to form his own political party, the CPP, Convention's People's Party, to start his journey of the Pan-Africanism, which is uniting all Africa as one. In the same year, 1949, because of strikes and demonstrations, he was arrested the second time into the Jamesford prison, this time alone, and he was supposed to be in prison for 3 years. But fortunately for him, there was an election at the Parliament House, and his party, the CPP, won the most seats. So he was released after a year and 2 months on the 24th of May 1951. In 1952, he became the first Prime Minister of Ghana. Before independence, this park used to be a polo ground for the British people, and blacks or Ghanaians were not allowed here. On the 6th of March 1957, Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah and other angry Ghanaians invaded the park. They sacked the British people, and he stood right where we have the Bronx Star, to declare our independence. In the same year, 1957, a Ghanaian delegation visited Cairo in Egypt and contracted a marriage between Madame Fathia Helen Race and Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Madame Fathia came to Ghana in 1957. They got married and had 3 children, namely Mr. Gamal Nkrumah, who was born in 1959, Madam Samia Nkrumah, who was born in 1960, and Mr. Sekou Nkrumah, who was born in 1963. But before these three children, in 1935, the same year he got the scholarship, he had his first child, a son from a relationship he had with a half-British, half-Ghanaian lady called Madam Fanny Henrietta Miller. Her Ghanaian side was from Elmina in the central region of Ghana, and she died in the year 2000. Their son's name was Professor Emeritus Francis Nkrumah, who was a doctor at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, but he died last year, June, at the age of 89. In 1960, Ghana became a republic. So, Osadifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah being our Prime Minister, on the 1st of July 1960, he was sworn in as the first president of Ghana. Please let's go. Please, this part of the park is called the Declaration Ground because on the 6th of March 1957, this is the right spot Osadifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah stood to declare our independence. The name Osadifo in Akan dialect means the people's warrior. It was given to him by the Ghanaian people after he helped us gain independence. And then he stood right up here, pointed forward just as the statue has stand and said, "We are no more facing east nor west but forward." That is why we Ghanaians say forward ever, backwards never. We are not going back into slavery. He was a man that loved culture and believed in culture diversity. So we represent the man with the talking drum and the people on my left with the southern culture of Ghana since he was an Aken. And we represent the man with the guitar and these people with the northern culture of Ghana. This whole display of playing horns was when they were announcing the death of Osadifo in the year 1972. And we say water is life. So the water we have on the park is to tell us that his legacy still lives on even after his death or demise. Please, this building is called the Mausoleum, the building under which Osadifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah and his wife Madam Fadia are buried. This was made by a Ghanaian architect called Dr. Don Arthur, made out of Italian stone. The black star we see up there is the same one in the Ghana flag, which stands for the Hope of Africa. At the sides and in front, the building looks like a sword turned upside down. In our Ghanaian tradition, when you enter a palace and the sword is turned upside down, it means in that community there is no war but peace. This is to say Osadifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was a peaceful man and he and his wife Madam Fatia are sleeping in peace. And secondly, the building looks like a tree which its branches has been cut off, also telling us he had many dreams for Ghana and Africa as a whole. But unfortunately he passed away, so some could not be fulfilled. Please let's go inside. Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was president of Ghana for 6 years, from 1960 to 1966, because in February 1966, because of the vision of the Pan-Africanism, he was assassinated. He was assassinated by the then military policemen, and then the opposition party. The leaders of these groups were General Emmanuel Kotoka, the one named after our airport, Kotoka International Airport, General Amankwa Akosi Africa, and IGP JWK Halley. But fortunately for him, he was on a trip to Hanoi in North Vietnam. When he heard about the coup and then the murder of his people, he went in exile in Guinea-Conakry, where he was made the co-president of Guinea-Conakry, and he named his last child Mr. Sekou Nkrumah after their president, President Sekou Toure. During his time of co-presidency in Guinea-Conakry, in 1971, Osadifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah fell sick of cancer, and he was taken to Bucharest, Romania for treatment. On the 27th of April 1972, at the age of 63, he passed away. His body was brought from Bucharest, Romania to Guinea-Conakry, put in a metallic coffin and given a state burial for 3 months. His mother, Madame Elizabeth Yaneba, was 100 years then and even blind of old age. When she heard of the demise of her only child, she requested the remains to be brought back to his homeland, Ghana. So he was brought back to Ghana, taken to Nkrofo, his hometown, and the body was embalmed for 20 years. until our late President Jerry John Rawlings in 1991 built this park in memorial of Assadifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, commissioned it in 1992, and also asked of the remains to be brought here. So this place becomes the third and final burial place of Assadifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. And in the year 2007, Madame Fatia Nkrumah fell sick of stroke, and she was taken to Cairo in Egypt, her hometown, for treatment. At the age of 75, she passed away. Before dying, she had always requested to be buried closer to her husband. So she was also brought back to Ghana, and she's buried opposite to me behind her. So please go have a look at the procedure.
When you came back from US. I'm coming, please.
From the Ghanaian people. So when we go inside, you see the video of the Ghanaian people.
Yes,
the street opposite to the park, we have a white building with a brown roofing. That is called the Supreme Court of Ghana. It was the first Parliament House, and this statue was a complete one located there. On the 24th of February 1966, during the coup, a mob destroyed it. In 1975, the National Museum found the body part and gave it to the park in the year 2007. A woman found this, but there was a law that if you were seen with the processions of Assadifo, you would be killed. So she kept this in her house and returned it after 43 years, on the 28th of May 2009. It was mounted on the park on the 1st of September 2009. She wanted to be anonymous, so we don't know her name. Where we are going to is the audiovisual room or tunnel. Please, no pictures and videos. Thank you. Telling us he was as human as we are, and he had both ups and downs. And this was his most famous quote, which says, "I am not African because I was born in Africa, but because Africa was born in me." So he carried it in him to wherever he went to in the world. So wherever he went to, he was always an African. Please, this is the end of our tour. Nice having you around. Enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.
My black people.